Before we dive into the explosive news surrounding Newcastle United, I want to hear from you. Drop your name and the city you're watching from in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button to show your support for the Magpies. We love seeing our global community united. Now, let's get into it. Newcastle United is currently facing a period of deep, painful reflection. What was supposed to be a season of absolute dominance has turned into a psychological battlefield. The boardroom is officially looking at the future of manager Eddie Howe, and the tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Following a string of poor domestic results, the questions aren't just being whispered anymore, they're being shouted from the rooftops. According to a recent Newcastle news update provided by Football Insider, the club's bosses are currently hesitant to sack the 48-year-old manager right this second, but don't let that fool you. The ground is shifting beneath Howe's feet. Internal worries about the club's direction continue to grow every single day. We are talking about a team that was supposed to challenge the elite, yet here we are watching the Magpies sit in a frustrating 13th place in the Premier League. The recent 3-2 home loss against Everton wasn't just a defeat, it was a wake-up call that sent shockwaves through the fan base. How did we get here? How did a team with this much investment and passion slide so far down the table? The atmosphere at St James's Park is changing, and for the first time in years, the silence from the board is becoming deafening. Is this the beginning of the end for the Eddie Howe era, or is there a path back to glory? The next few weeks will decide everything for this historic club. The drama behind closed doors at Newcastle is reaching a fever pitch. Former Manchester United chief scout Mick Brown recently pointed out a chilling reality. While most fans still back Howe, the constant rumors about his job security are never a good sign for the long term. When people of Brown's stature start talking about the instability of a project, you know the foundation is cracking. The board knows that Howe has dealt with massive hurdles this season. We've seen the physical drain of European football take its toll on the players. We've seen the injuries. But the owners didn't invest billions just to hear excuses about fatigue. They expect results. Brown specifically noted that the team is no longer a scary opponent at St James's Park. Think about that for a second. St James's Park used to be a fortress, a place where visiting teams felt the walls closing in on them. Now, 4 losses in their last 5 league games suggests a worrying dip in form that suggests the fear factor has completely evaporated. The Magpies are no longer the hunters, they are becoming the hunted. The board is stuck in a strange position. They respect what Howe has built, but they are terrified of a total collapse. The Newcastle news update suggests that while a sacking isn't happening today, the club will likely look at the situation again if the team keeps sliding. It's a wait-and-see approach that is driving the fans crazy. Every game feels like a final for Eddie Howe. Every tactical decision is being scrutinized under a microscope. Can he regain the trust of the boardroom, or has the relationship already reached its breaking point? The pressure is mounting and the clock is ticking. Now this is where the story gets truly bizarre. We are witnessing one of the strangest puzzles in modern football history. As of March 3, 2026, Newcastle United have actually made it to the Champions League round of 16. They beat Qarabag in a high-stakes encounter that showed the world what this team is capable of on the big stage. This success in Europe is acting as a literal shield for Eddie Howe. It's the only thing keeping the critics at bay. How can you sack a manager who has you in the knockout stages of the greatest competition in the world? Yet the domestic struggles feel fundamentally wrong for a side that wants to be a Champions League regular. It's a paradox that has the fans split down the middle. Half of the supporters are celebrating the European nights, while the other half is looking at the Premier League table in horror. Can a good run in Europe truly make up for a bottom-half finish in the league? For the owners, the answer is likely a resounding no. They want the global prestige of the Champions League, but they know that to stay a global power, you must dominate your own backyard. The domestic league is the bread and butter, and right now, Newcastle is starving. The squad seems stuck between two completely different identities. On Tuesday nights, they look like world beaters. On Saturday afternoons, they look lost. This inconsistency is the hallmark of a team in crisis, and Eddie Howe is the man who has to solve the riddle before it's too late. Is he a victim of his own success in Europe, or is he simply failing to adapt to the grind of the Premier League? Let's talk tactics, because this is where the real battle is won or lost. The Newcastle squad seems stuck between two styles, and it's tearing their performances apart. Their fast transitional play, that lightning-quick counter-attack, works wonders against the big European teams who leave space behind. We saw it against Qarabag, and we've seen it against the Giants. But when they face disciplined defensive Premier League teams who park the bus, Newcastle hits a brick wall. They lack the creativity, the guile, and the patience to break down a low block. This is the Howe problem. If the Magpies want to keep growing as a global power, the board must decide if Howe can change his tactics. He needs to prove that he is more than just a counter-attack specialist. He needs to show that he can evolve. The rigid system that fails against local teams is becoming a liability. Fans are starting to wonder, has the league figured out Eddie Howe? Are his methods becoming predictable? To be a top 6 regular, you have to be able to win ugly. You have to be able to break down an Everton or a Brentford just as easily as you compete with a European giant. The inability to do so is exactly why they're sitting in 13th place. The players look frustrated, the fans are getting restless, and the tactical identity of the club is in total limbo. This isn't just about effort, it's about the blueprint. If Howe can't find a plan B that works in England, his plan A in Europe won't be enough to save his job. The evolution of Newcastle United depends on this very moment. Will he adapt, or will he be replaced by someone who can? We are heading toward a climax that will define the future of Newcastle United. Another Newcastle news update notes that the upcoming games against Manchester United and Barcelona will likely decide how people remember this season and whether Eddie Howe stays in the dugout. These aren't just games, they are judgments. The owners want more than just big European nights. They expect the team to finish in the top 6 every year. That is the standard now. There is no room for mediocrity at the new Newcastle. The focus is now shifting heavily onto the players as well. They must find their home form again at St James's Park before the pressure gets too high to handle. They need to turn that stadium back into a place of nightmares for their opponents. If they stumble against Manchester United or fall apart against Barcelona, the board's hesitation to sack Howe will vanish instantly. We are at the tipping point. The passion of the Toon Army is legendary, but even their patience has a limit. Will we see a tactical masterclass that saves the season, or are we witnessing the slow-motion collapse of a dream? Make sure you stay tuned to the channel because we will be covering every second of this drama. Before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you never miss a Newcastle news update. What do you think? Should Howe stay or go? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and as always, away the lads.